If you've ever dealt with someone who manipulates conversations, provokes reactions, twists situations, or wins by deception, you already know how draining it feels. You replay the moment later, realizing what you should have done. In this video, I'll break down 7 Machiavellian psychological tricks that allow you to see manipulation instantly and respond with calm control instead of emotion. Stay until the end, because the final insight changes how you deal with manipulators forever. The first law of power is mastering your emotions. Manipulators provoke to get a reaction, anger, fear, or confusion. If you respond, they gain control. But if you remain still and composed, their tactics fail. Your calmness creates a vacuum, exposing their intent. In meetings or negotiations, let silence and stillness speak. Do not be baited. Your restraint unsettles manipulators, forcing them to reveal themselves or retreat. In the end, true power is calm, unshakable presence. That is the stillness of power. Silence in conversation is a powerful tool. Most people rush to fill it, revealing more than they intend. When faced with manipulation or pressure, resist the urge to explain or defend. Instead, hold your ground and remain silent. This creates discomfort for the manipulator, forcing them to reveal their intentions or back down. Your silence signals control and confidence, making them question their tactics. In negotiations or confrontations, let your silence do the work. Often, the other person will break first, exposing their true motives. Use silence as your weapon. It is often more powerful than any argument. If this is making you see people more clearly, a quiet like for the video and subscribing to the channel helps more than you think. In the complex social ecosystem, strategy is a dance. The manipulator, driven by control, acts with urgency, believing speed is their ally. But the wise observer knows patience is power. By refusing to be rushed, you disrupt their sequence. Calm inaction creates psychological dissonance. The manipulator grows desperate, overplaying their hand. Like a predator lunging at a shadow, their energy is wasted. Your role is to observe and allow. They reveal their weaknesses, constructing the very trap they set for you. In the end, they unmask themselves. By letting them overplay their hand, you win, without ever moving a piece. In the theatre of human interaction, control often belongs to the one who defines the frame, the context, the meaning, and the unspoken rules of the engagement. A manipulator's primary objective is to establish a frame that benefits them. They may frame a selfish request as a test of friendship, or frame their criticism as a well-intentioned effort to help you. They are essentially creating a stage and handing you a script. Reversing the frame is the art of calmly taking that script, tearing it up, and defining the nature of the play yourself. It is a quiet, intellectual coup d'état. This technique is not about aggressive confrontation or denial. It is about reinterpretation. When a manipulator attempts to frame their intrusive questioning as just being curious, you can reverse the frame by calmly responding, "I appreciate your interest in my strategy, but I prefer to keep my decision-making process private for now." In one stroke, you have reframed their intrusion as an inquiry into your strategy, positioning yourself as a thoughtful planner and them as an outside observer. You have shifted from being the subject of an interrogation to the master of a situation. The power of reframing lies in its subtlety. It avoids a direct accusation of manipulation, which would only lead to denial and conflict. Instead, it offers an alternative, more empowering interpretation of events. If a colleague attempts to offload their work onto you, framing it as a great opportunity for you to learn, you can reverse the frame. You might reply, "Thank you for the vote of confidence. Given the importance of this task, it should be handled by the person with the most expertise, which is you. But I would be happy to observe so I can learn from the best." You have reframed their laziness as expertise and their attempt to delegate as an opportunity for mentorship on your terms. This act of seizing narrative control fundamentally alters the power dynamic. The manipulator expects to operate from a position of superior framing, where their definitions are accepted without question. When you calmly and consistently redefine the situation, you are demonstrating that you are not a passive participant. You are an equal, or perhaps even a superior, architect of the social reality you both inhabit. You are not playing by their rules, you are forcing them to adapt to yours. This sudden shift can be deeply unsettling for them, as their primary tool has just been neutralized and, in a way, turned against them. Manipulators instinctively seek to establish a subtle hierarchy where they occupy the superior position. This is often achieved through psychological framing. They may adopt the role of the wise mentor, the concerned parent, or the more experienced authority, casting you in the subordinate role of the student, the child, or the novice. This frame gives them the implicit permission to judge, to advise, and to control. Reversing the frame is a powerful method for dismantling this artificially constructed hierarchy and re-establishing a relationship of equals, or even reversing the roles entirely. Consider a scenario where someone gives you unsolicited, critical feedback under the guise of being helpful. The frame is that they are the discerning critic, and you are the flawed performer. To reverse this, you do not defend your performance. Instead, you can reframe their role. You might say it's a bold strategy to offer such direct analysis. What's your objective with this feedback? This simple question reframes them from a helpful mentor to a strategist with an objective. You are now analyzing their motives, subtly placing you in the superior analytical position. You are no longer the subject of their judgment, they are the subject of your inquiry. This technique is particularly effective because it works on the subconscious level of status and dominance. When you reverse the frame, you are not arguing about the facts of the situation. You are challenging the unstated power relationship. If a manager tries to guilt you into working overtime by framing it as a test of your commitment to the team, you can reverse it. I agree that protecting the team's well-being is crucial, you might say, which is why I'm committed to maintaining a sustainable pace to prevent burnout for everyone, myself included. You have reframed their demand as a threat to the team, and your refusal as an act of responsible leadership. The manipulator is now on the defensive, forced to operate within the new context you have created. Their attempt to establish a dominant position has backfired, leaving them in a reactive or subordinate role. They expected you to accept their frame and either comply or protest, both of which keep you in the lower status position of respondent. By refusing both options and creating a new frame, you have executed a sophisticated maneuver that asserts your autonomy and intellectual dominance. You have demonstrated that you see the game they are playing and that you are capable of changing the rules at will. The act of reversing a frame has a profound psychological impact on a manipulator. Their tactics rely on a predictable world, one where their definitions are accepted and their psychological positioning is secure. When you reframe the situation, you are injecting a powerful dose of unpredictability and chaos into their ordered world. You are demonstrating that you see through their artifice, but you are choosing to respond not with anger, but with superior intelligence. This is far more demoralizing than a simple argument. This intellectual countermove induces a state of cognitive dissonance. The manipulator holds two conflicting ideas simultaneously: their belief in their own cleverness and the undeniable reality that you have just outmaneuvered them. This dissonance is uncomfortable, and it forces them to re-evaluate their assessment of you. You are no longer an easy target or a predictable pawn. You have revealed yourself as a strategic thinker, someone who understands the deeper game of power and perception. If these ideas sharpen how you see people, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. It quietly supports the channel, only if you feel it's earned. In the intricate machinery of the human psyche, we often mistake the noisy, visible parts for the engine. We see the manipulator's ego, their arrogance, their sense of entitlement, their need to be right, and we assume this is the source of their power. We believe their actions stem from a position of strength and unshakable self-regard. But this is a fundamental misreading of the animal. The ego is not the engine. It is the loud, rattling exhaust. The true engine, hidden deep within, burning hot and unseen, is a profound and gnawing insecurity. This insecurity is the dark matter of their personality. You cannot see it directly, but you can observe its powerful gravitational effects on everything they do. The need to control others is not born from a surplus of confidence, but from a terrifying deficit of it. They seek to manage their external world because they feel utterly incapable of managing their internal one. Every manipulative act is a desperate attempt to build a fragile scaffolding of control around a hollow core. They need to feel superior because deep down they feel profoundly inferior. Understanding this changes the entire strategic calculus. Attacking a manipulator's ego is a fool's errand. The ego is a fortress they have spent a lifetime reinforcing. A direct assault will be met with ferocious, predictable defense mechanisms: rage, denial, and counterattack. It is like striking a turtle's shell. You will achieve little beyond making it withdraw and prepare for a more venomous strike later. Challenging their pride only validates their worldview that they are under siege, justifying even more aggressive tactics in their own minds. It feeds the very beast you are trying to tame. The far more sophisticated approach is to bypass the ego entirely and speak to the underlying insecurity. This is not about comforting them or playing therapist. It is a strategic maneuver designed to neutralize their motivation for attack. by recognizing that their dirty tactics are symptoms of a deeper fear, fear of being irrelevant, fear of being exposed as inadequate, fear of losing control. You can subtly address that fear without ever acknowledging the manipulative behavior itself. This disarms them in a way a direct confrontation never could, by targeting the root cause, not the symptom. Disarming a manipulator by targeting their insecurity is a delicate operation, akin to defusing a bomb. It requires precision, subtlety, and an absence of aggression. The goal is not to fix them, but to remove their motivation for targeting you. This is achieved by subtly providing what their insecurity craves, but on your own terms and in a way that reinforces your own strength. It is a form of psychological judo, using the weight of their own fear against them. For instance, consider a colleague who constantly tries to undermine you in meetings, a classic sign of professional insecurity. A direct confrontation would lead to denial and escalation. An attack on their ego, "you're just jealous," would be equally unproductive. The strategic move is to find a low-stakes opportunity to publicly but briefly acknowledge a genuine minor skill of theirs. John actually has a good eye for spotting typos in these drafts. It's a useful final check. This small offering costs you nothing, but it feeds their starving need for validation, reducing their compulsion to tear you down to build themselves up. This technique must be applied with surgical precision. The validation must be small, specific, and authentic. Grand, effusive praise will be seen as insincere and manipulative in its own right. It is about giving a starving man a single cracker, not a banquet. It is just enough to quell the immediate pangs of insecurity that drive their negative behavior towards you. If a manipulator constantly questions your decisions, fearing their own irrelevance, you can say, "That's a valid perspective to consider. I'll keep it in mind as I finalize my approach. You haven't ceded control, but you have acknowledged their existence, which is often all the insecure ego truly wants." This act of strategic validation is profoundly disorienting for them. They are primed for conflict, expecting you to fight back and resist their attempts to diminish you. When you instead offer a small, unexpected token of recognition, you disrupt their entire script. You are not behaving like a victim. You are behaving like a secure, high-status individual who is so confident in their own position that they can afford to be magnanimous. This reframes you as being above the fray, a calm and powerful figure, which in itself can be enough to make them redirect their insecure aggressions elsewhere. The ultimate goal of targeting insecurity is to neutralize the threat a manipulator poses without engaging in a costly battle. Direct conflict drains energy, time, and political capital. It is a messy. In the world of power, perception rules over truth. The appearance of strength, the illusion of control, these are the currencies that buy influence. The master strategist shapes how they are seen, building a fortress of perception more formidable than any fact. In the corporate jungle, calm confidence is valued above all. The mask of competence is the face of power. Reputation is perception amplified. Let others tell your story. The mask you wear is not a lie, but a tool, protecting your true self and shaping how the world responds. Manage perception, and you shape reality itself. In the dance of power, sometimes the strongest move is to walk away. Strategic disengagement isn't weakness, it's control. Manipulators thrive on your reaction. Your presence is their fuel. By calmly withdrawing, you deny them the drama they crave, shifting the power dynamic instantly. Like a grandmaster leaving the board, you refuse to play their game. This act unsettles the manipulator, exposing their tactics and leaving them powerless. Disengagement is not surrender. It's a declaration that your energy is too valuable for pointless conflict. Master the art of walking away, and you hold the ultimate power, the power to choose not to play. Which of these psychological tactics have you seen used most often? Let us all know in the comments. We have journeyed through the shadowed territories of human interaction, observing the subtle strategies that govern the flow of power. From the silent fortress of emotional control to the disarming void of strategic withdrawal, the principles remain consistent. It is a world not of loud confrontation, but of quiet observation and deliberate action. The tactics of the manipulator, though often effective against the unprepared, are built on a foundation of predictable human response. To understand this is to hold the key to dismantling their entire structure, piece by silent piece. The true strategist is not a participant in the chaotic fray, but an observer of patterns. They see the desperate need for validation behind the aggressive ego. They hear the unspoken plea for control in the manipulative question. They recognize the game for what it is, a performance driven by insecurity. And by seeing, they gain the ability to act not in reaction, but with intention. They do not get drawn into the script. They remain in the audience, watching the play unfold, understanding the motives of every actor on the stage. This knowledge is not a call to become a manipulator, but a map to navigate a world where such individuals exist. It is a shield, not a sword. It is the understanding that power is often quietest at its source, residing not in the one who makes the most noise, but in the one who understands the dynamics of the ecosystem most completely. The goal is not to dominate others, but to achieve a state of personal sovereignty, to be immune to the emotional puppetry that ensnares so many. It is the path of the unseen, the unheard, but the always aware. In the shadows of human behavior, power belongs to those who see beneath the mask. Outsmart, outlast, and remain unseen. If this video helped you think more clearly, like it. Share it with someone who needs awareness, not encouragement. Subscribe for more strategic psychology and watch the next video. It builds directly on what you learned here.